What's up everybody, it's Sean here and I am back today to give you guys a review of the women's Nike Dunk Low Premium in this bacon colorway. So this is a new colorway of the Nike Dunk Low that released in late December 21st of last year to be exact. These retailed for a price of $125 US or $165 here in Canada. And the official colorway for this shoe is Sport Red, Sail, Straw, Sheen, and Medium Brown. And while it's not officially tied to DQM or any official references to the Bacon Air Max 90, these are unofficially called the Bacon colorway because of the similarities that the colorway shares to one of the most iconic Air Max 90 colorways of all time. So like I mentioned in the beginning, this is a women's colorway of the Nike Dunk Low, but fortunately for me, they were available in big enough sizes that I was able to get my men's size equivalent. So jumping right into the details, starting things off with the toe box, this is covered in a heavily tumbled, sail colored leather, and like any other dunk, we have these perforations covering the entire toe box. Surrounding the front toe cap, we have the Sport Red colored nubuck, and this nubuck covers the eyelets of the sneaker as well. Beneath this on the mid panel, we have more of that sail colored tumbled leather, but the panel here is not perforated. And then stitched on top of this, we have a Nike swoosh, which is constructed in more of a pink colored smooth leather instead. Moving downwards, we have more of that red nubuck, which wraps around the bottom of the heel. And then surrounding the top portion of the ankle collar area, we have more of that tumbled sail leather. And then on the very top of the heel, we have the shaggy brown colored suede with Nike branding pressed across in pink. As far as the laces go, so these only come with one lace option, and they're a flat style lace done in this beige color. Underneath this, the tongue is covered in this pink colored mesh, but one thing I found interesting is that the tongue on these dunks felt noticeably more padded than a typical Nike sportswear dunk, which is usually a much more thinner nylon finish. So this almost felt like a pseudo Nike SB dunk release with a bit of a lesser padded tongue. So on the top of the tongue, we have this brown colored nubuck with Nike branding pressed within it in this red finish. And then the interior liner of these dunks, this is covered in a synthetic leather lining in this beige color. And then as far as the insoles go, so nothing too special here, this is your typical foam line insole. It's covered in the Sport Red finish, and we have Nike branding pressed onto the heel in pink. So the upper of these dunks sits atop this solid rubber cupsole, and then the outsole of these dunks, this is done in this brown colored rubber, and we have the same traction pattern that you typically find on any other dunk. We have this circular pivot point on the forefoot, and Nike branding visible right in the center. So that breaks down the look and the construction of these dunks. And for those wondering about sizing, so like I mentioned earlier, this is a women's release. So for any guys that are watching this channel, to get your women's size equivalent, go up 1.5 sizes from your normal men's size. So my foot measures as a true size 10, slightly on the wider side. I wear a size 10 in most Nike sportswear dunks. So to get my women's equivalent, go up 1.5 sizes. So I got these in a size 11.5 and they fit me pretty well. I know sometimes women's shoes can be a little bit more narrow compared to a men's shoe, but it wasn't that noticeable of a difference. Getting these in my true dunk size, it fit me perfectly fine. So that's what I'd recommend for most people, and unless you have a really wide foot, which I would expect that you normally go up half a size for dunks anyways, I'd do the same for this pair as well. Next up, in terms of the comfort, so these feel like any other Dunk Low, so it's not going to be the most comfortable shoe on the market. Dunks, like you probably know, feel pretty firm and stiff and stable underfoot, so that's not necessarily a bad thing, but if you're looking for a very plush, very pillowy feel underfoot, this is not going to be a great option for you. Finally, in terms of the quality and the craftsmanship on this pair, so first off, material quality for the most part was really solid. While the leather that they use on the toe box and the side panels is artificially tumbled, this is still genuine leather, and the red nubuck that they use on the shoe, it felt like it was pretty good quality all things considered. So the materials definitely feel a bit more elevated compared to a typical Nike sportswear dunk that usually uses a very synthetic plastic leather, which feels very cardboard-like and stiff. This shoe doesn't have that feeling whatsoever. And from a build and craftsmanship standpoint, it was pretty solid. There were some small issues of glue stains surrounding the shoe, but I was just able to peel them off myself. And the only issue that I noticed is that this red nubuck, it bleeds onto the midsole, for example. And there's actually a tag that comes with the shoe that says that the materials are dyed and they will possibly stain. So don't be surprised if you get these, you open them out of the box and you notice that there's some red stain throughout the shoe. It's probably just gonna happen because of the nature of the dye on the nubuck. But other than that, I thought that this was a very premium feeling sneaker as far as Nike sportswear goes. So I was pretty impressed and happy with how these were in real life. So with all that out of the way now, let me toss these on feet, I'll lace them up for you, and I'll show you guys how these look. The bacon colorway of the Air Max 90 is one of the most famous colorways of the Air Max 90 ever created, and I thought that they translated that colorway so well on these Dunk Lows. Some people on Instagram were saying this was more of a feminine looking dunk, but I kind of disagree. I don't really see anything on this shoe that really makes it that feminine, to be honest. Yes, we have pink on the tongue and the swoosh, but I see this as more of just color accents as opposed to being the predominant color. So in that case, I think it works pretty well. This is a very well balanced colorway, and you can rock these both on Valentine's Day or even across the entire year. I don't really think it matters too much. So drop a comment down below to let me know, what do you guys think about this women's Nike Dunk Low in this bacon colorway? What are your overall thoughts on this pair? Is this a pair that you picked up for yourself? Did you pass on these? However you feel about them, drop a comment down below and let's talk about it. And as usual, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. You can follow me on Instagram at esco8, check out my X or Twitter at sean.go spelled out, and visit my website as well at seango.ca. So thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this review, and I'll catch you guys all in the next one.